All right, race fans, are you ready to rock and roll? Here we got the Formula Ones on the water as we look to crown a champion here at the 2022 battle on the San Jacinto here in the shores of the San Jacinto River in beautiful Highland, Texas at the Baytown Boat Club. We've got 13 of the top drivers from all across North America, top 10 separated by less than a second in their one-lap fast lap qualifiers here earlier on yesterday, and we got a doozy for you this afternoon. Before we get into taking a look at our starting lineup and the season point standings coming into this weekend, we had a chance to chat with Tim Seebold, and we've got a new race ride experience here on the Formula One Powerboat Championship Series. We gave a great bunch of rides to a bunch of awesome people here in Highlands, Texas, here at the 2022 battle on the San Jacinto, and we're going to be doing it again, and we're going to be doing a giveaway. So those of you watching from Lake Havasu City, Arizona, keep an eye out for opportunities to win yourself a free race ride experience. But let's see what Tim Seebold had to say about this new offering from the Formula One Powerboat Championship Series. Welcome back in the pits. Joining me now, the man in charge of the Formula One Powerboat Championships, Tim Seebold, here with this beautiful two-seater. Tim, this has got to have been a long time coming and a passion project for you, but boy, that thing was out on the water today here at the battle on the San Jacinto, and you had that thing flying.
You know, it runs pretty good. That the new Mercury Apex 360 has got a ton of power, and that's what we need to have an exciting ride and give somebody the thrill of what the F1 powerboats are all about.
Absolutely, and you look at this thing, it's all composite, which is a little bit different than some of the ones that were built back in the day. This is not your first time in a two-seater. The Seabolds are kind of the original two-seater promoters from back in the 80s and 90s. What's it like getting back into one of these big things again?
Well, it's a lot of fun because, you know, since I retired, I hadn't really driven one. So now I get the best of both worlds. I get to come, I get to promote the sport, give some rides, and help the racers. So, you know, it's good for everybody. We call it the Formula One two-seater F1 race ride experience, and we're doing contests with it so that you'll be able to win a ride for the fans. We take sponsors, media, you know, for rides and give them the thrill because, you know, you talk about what it feels like to drive a Formula One boat, but until you get in and feel what it's like, you really can't compare it to anything.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things I've had as an announcer was my ability to be in a two-seater multiple times throughout my life and really have the ability to kind of broadcast that out to the world, what it's like inside the cockpit, granted not racing. But you talk about this experience at the final race in Lake Havasu City. We're going to have a big crowd down there. Here's the question I have. What is it like listening and watching the people that are in the seat next to you?
It's a blast because, you know, it's that first time emotion and they don't know really what to expect. So you kind of explain, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I drive it. This is what it's going to feel like. But then you go, okay, here we go. And when you do, it's a whole different thing. I took James Chambers for a ride, longtime crew chief for Rinker Racing. Took him for a ride today, and I said, hey, was my, you know, speech okay? And he's like, you know, after you said about the first two sentences, it was just like, wah, wah, wah. I couldn't, because he was excited to get the ride.
Absolutely. So we got our final race of the season here in 2022 down in beautiful Lake Havasu City. I know you had mentioned that you're going to have a contest. How can the fans find out how to get registered to possibly win a ride in this beautiful machine?
Well, we're working all the final details out now. Stay tuned to our Facebook page, and we will give you some directions where to go and how to be able to participate to win a ride. I think we're gonna give 3 or 4 of them away.
Nice.
So stay tuned. You can have a ride in the F1 race ride experience with me, Tim Seebold.
All righty. Well, hey, you can't get a whole lot better than that. If you can't be a driver, you might as well get in the cockpit, one of the greatest drivers ever behind the wheel of Formula One.
All right, that was Tim Seebold and the F1 two-seater race ride experience coming to a city near you here in 2022 or 2023. And it's been a doozy of a weekend. We've had multiple winners in qualifying heats. We've had people all over the course running, and it's going to be a knockdown drag out this afternoon, and it's going to be for some valuable points. So let's take a look at coming into round 4 here on the Battle on the San Jacinto, what the season standings look like here in Formula One. Your leader coming in to the round 4 with 521 points, the number 24, the man out of Santa Rosa Valley, California, Mr. Spencer Love. In second position, we call him Jeremiah Get Out of My Way Mayo, the young man out of Richmond, Texas, running for JH Performance Boats and Hertz Audio in second position with 467 points. 4 points behind him in third position, the number 52 of Chris Rinker, running for Rinker Boat World, McLean Trailers, and Pro Marine. In fourth position, 2 points behind the 52 of Chris Rinker is the number 17 of Dylan Anderson in that beautiful all-blue carbon fiber Hoffman designed Formula One with Anderson Marine on the side. He sits in fourth. In fifth position with 456 points, 5 points behind the 17 of Dylan Anderson, who's in fourth, is the 20 of Ashton Rinker. He hasn't necessarily had the best weekend here this weekend, but he's hoping to right the ship here in the final. That's the Golden Boy, your 2-time Formula One Powerboat Championship winner, Ashton Rinker. In sixth in the season standings, the 71 of Jimmy Kerr, who was unable to be here today this weekend. In seventh was your final heat, the third and final heat winner here at the Battle on the San Jacinto, the number 77 of Mike Quindazzi. Then it's that top driver with that APX 200 Mercury competition in four-stroke on the back. In eighth at 402 points, the number 3 of Dustin Terry. In ninth, the number 93 of RJ West. In 10th, the number 70 of Jude Gaspard with 362 points. In 11th, the Barlotta boat sponsored number 74 of Jesse Swain with 321. And then you see the rest of them all the way down to the top 20. And we make our way down to 22 drivers who have joined us here on the 2022 circuit. Not all of them here this weekend. We'd like to see more of them, but unfortunately it didn't work out for all of them. But let's take a look at our starting grid here for the Battle on the San Jacinto. The man sitting in third in points coming into this race finds himself on the pole. We call him the real deal. The number 52, Chris Rinker, sitting on the pole. Second off the start pontoon, your points leader so far coming into this round out of Santa Rosa Valley, California, and that number 24 Hoffman Composite Formula One with Clover Construction on the side. Coming second off the start pontoon, the number 24 of Spencer Love. Third off the start dock is the lone Canadian here in 2022 running for Crystal Clear Wiper Blades, the number 94 of Rusty Wyatt. That APX just keeps getting better race after race. Fourth off the start pontoon, the other half of the Clover Construction team also running for Ameristar Roofing, the 03 of Dustin Terry. Fifth off the start pontoon, the Fleming Manufacturing's number 9 of Johnny Fleming. We had a chance to talk to him earlier. You saw that. The lucky pole hopefully going to bring him some hardware home back to the Woodlands, Texas, coming fifth off the start dock. Sixth is the number 17 of Dylan Anderson. Seventh is the number 8 of Jeremiah Get Out of My Way Mayo. Eighth off the start pontoon, the winner of heat number 3, the number 77 of Mike Quindazzi. Ninth is the number 70 of Jude Gaspard. In 10th position, the other part of the JH Performance Racing team, the number 15 of Tim Kraft. 11th off the start pontoon, the other APX 200 competition, 4-stroke outboard for Mercury Racing, and that beautiful chartreuse and black JH machine, the number 99 of Travis Yates. In 12th, the number 09 of Whitney Fletcher, and rounding out the field, the number 20 of Ashton Rinker. All right, we got them all lined up. We're ready to go here, just waiting for Chief Referee Doug Ray to get them all lined up. You're going to see that 1-minute flare go out. Once we go there, we're going to count down in 10-second increments from 1 minute to 20 seconds. Then we're going to go under starters orders. He's going to drop that flag, and they're going to hear these V6 outboards come roaring off the east banks of the San Jacinto River through the middle of the course, down the south end, through turns 3 and 4, and then we will start lap 1 of this 18 minutes plus 1 lap main event here in Formula One. Who's going to be the champion on the San Jacinto? Who could possibly be our new points leader for 2022? We are just moments away from finding out who is going to be the big champion here on Sunday. 1 minute, drivers. 1 minute. Will the man on the pole get that jump that he's looking for and run this thing wire to wire? Will Chris, the real deal Rinker, keep the hardware here in the great state of Texas? 50 seconds, drivers, 50 seconds. Or will the 24 of Spencer Love, your points leader through the first 3 rounds of 2022, be the man with the checkered flag in hand at the end of the race? 40 seconds, drivers, 40 seconds. Or could it be the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, the 9 of Johnny Fleming? 30 seconds, drivers, 30 seconds. Could it be the 17 of Dylan Anderson, the 03 of Dustin Terry, the 77 of Mike Quindazzi? Anybody can win it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's crown a champion on the San Jacinto. 20 seconds, drivers, you're under starter's orders. He drops the flag and they take off. Great jump there by the 52, the real deal Rinker, as well as the 94 of Rusty Wyatt. They get through those commitment buoys. Now they make their turn across the west side of the river down to the south end of the course. Rough jump there by the 20 of Ashton Rinker. He really didn't get off at all, but here we go. The 52 of Chris Rinker gets out in front, and running hard behind him, the 94 of Rusty Wyatt. What happened to the 24 of Spencer Love? He got sandwiched down there. Here comes the 17 of Dylan Anderson, and then the 03 of Dustin Terry down to the north end of the course. But right now, they're trying to catch the pole sitter, the man who pushed hard all weekend long and found himself in the catbird seat to start this main event here in Formula One. It's all about the real deal out in front right now. There's the 24 of Spencer Love. Oh no, the 03 of Terry picked up a buoy. So frustrating for the young man out of Thibodaux, Louisiana. He was sitting in third. He's now fallen all the way back to 6th position with that buoy obstructing his view on the middle pickle fork of that Hoffman Clover construction machine with the APX on the back. As our leader, the 52 of Chris Rinker, continues to push hard. There's the 77 Buckshot Racing trying to get by the 03 of Dustin Terry. He makes his way past the 03 of Terry and moves up into 6th position. The 77 of Mike Quindazzi. In 5th, the 70 of Juice Gaspard. What a great run for the man from Texas in that number 70 machine out of Conroe, Texas. But it is all Chris Rinker right now as he's opened up a huge lead early on over the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, who started third and was able to get by the 24 of Spencer Love, who's really having some problems. He is way back there and pulling off the course, the 03 of Dustin Terry. There's the 52 of Chris Rinker as he's out in front. There he is, the 03 of Dustin Terry, pierced that buoy down in the north end of the course. Looks like turns 1 or 2. He gets that buoy off and heads back out onto the course. But it is all Chris Rinker early on right now. There's the 20 of Ashton Rinker. He's trying to stay on the lead lap as his teammate, the 52 of Chris Rinker, comes up here now on the south end of the course, now heading down into turn 3. The 20 of Ashton Rinker gets by the 09 of Whitney Terry Fletcher. There's our leader, the 52 of Chris Rinker, pushing hard down the front stretch, trying to get some of those back markers between him and the 94 of Rusty Wyatt. There's the 94 of Rusty Wyatt. He's got to navigate some of those back markers. There's the 17 of Dylan Anderson. Those two have been fighting hard for 3rd position. Who is going to stay for 2nd and 3rd? Are those two going to be able to hold on to those podium positions here in this 18 minutes plus 1 lap main event on the shores of the San Jacinto River? There's the 94 of Wyatt. He's pushing hard. Going wide to the outside is the 17 of Dylan Anderson, trying to find some clean water and top speed to get that machine in front of that Moore Design crystal clear wiper sponsored Formula One with 94 of Rusty Wyatt behind the wheel. Wyatt goes tight to the inside, going wide on his outside hip. There's the 17 of Anderson, trying to find that clean water and push that Hoffman hull 1 spot further up on the podium. But he's got to watch out because Chris Rinker sitting in 3rd in points, coming in. Oh, look at him blow by the 94 of Wyatt. What happened there? The 17 of Dylan Anderson found an extra gear and he just blew by the 94 of Rusty Wyatt up into 2nd position, and now he's going to look to track down our leader, the 52 of Chris Rinker. There's the 17 of Anderson. Something's going on with the 94 of Wyatt, of Rusty Wyatt, as he's now back into 4th position as the 24 of Spencer Love has moved his way back up to 3rd after a brutal start off the pontoon. Looks like we got a boat over somewhere down at the south end of the course. What happened down there? Was that our leader? The 52 of Chris Rinker has gone over down at the south end of the course, ladies and gentlemen. Our leader with half a straightaway lead over the rest of the field. The 52 of Chris Rinker barrel rolls down in turn number 3. Oh my Lord, what is going on? He is way out in front. He catches a roller coming off of turn number 3. And what a promising afternoon for the 52 of Chris Rinker is now completely over. You see the nose sticking out of that McLean Trailers Rinker Boat World machine. What a frustrating turn of events for the number 52 of Chris Rinker. He's going to go get checked out by the ambulance. Hopefully we can get a chance to talk to him, but how unfortunate for that young man. Look at the damage on the capsule of that Kniff Lamb built Formula One machine. That thing's seen a lot of laps. It's a very successful boat, a very fast boat, as we saw. How frustrating that's got to be for the 52 of Chris Rinker. He was his own worst enemy there, and it looks like we've got more problems. As we pull that boat off the course, more boats are having problems here. As we can see, the 17 of Dylan Anderson has popped his rollover bag, and you can see there he's going to have that thing deflated and taped back over. Otherwise, he's going to lose some serious ground out there with that non-aerodynamic airbag deploying while he was running in the middle of the race. What an unfortunate turn of events for the 52 of Rinker. Hopefully we can get a word with the 52 of Chris Rinker and see what happened out there. But this is what happens. You get the whole field out there, that extra level of adrenaline, that extra push causes you to make those split-second decisions, and you end up sometimes on the wrong side of it. How unfortunate it is for the 52 of Chris Rinker. We also saw the 94 of Rusty Wyatt go dead in the water. As we can see here, the 94 dejected, helmet on, but capsule open. Don't know what happened to that crystal clear wiper blades machine. It was running unbelievably in second position. So we've lost the 2 of the top 3 boats so far here, and the other boat in the top 3 can't get its safety airbag back in the boat. It's been deployed. Again, we talked about this yesterday. It happened to the 9 of Johnny Fleming. A lot of these boats nowadays have a safety feature in them, and if the boat goes over, there is an airbag that's deployed that rights the boat. Right, so that the driver can get out and not underwater. You can see there the 94 of Rusty Wyatt frantically pulling off the rear cowling and the motor cowling on that crystal clear wiper blades machine to try to see if they can't get that thing figured out what the heck happened there and try to get that boat back on the water as he's pulling that rear cowling off and trying to figure it out what happens. As you can see there, they also pull in the 52, Chris the Real Deal Rinker. Had some damage sustained there after a nasty little snap roll down in turn number 3. So now we're going to have to do a restart here. I don't know if we're going to do a rolling restart or if we're going to do a dock restart. Looks like we are going to be doing a rolling restart, and this running order is going to be completely shuffled. As we see here, we've got 17, 24, 94, 70, 77, 9. So there's your first 3 rows, right? Because it's unlike the modified Le Mans start from the start dock, we're going to run them 2 by 2, just like we do for the normal starts in the Texas Tri-Hull division. We're hopefully in 2023, we are going to get the race ride 2-seater experience out as our pace boat for these Formula One races. But we've got, I see over here, as we see more carnage here on the shores of the San Jacinto there as we pan right. There he is. Yeah, and we can see we got the drone coverage there. Something's going on inside the cockpit of that 20 Rinker Boat World machine. The golden boy, Ashton Rinker, 2 F1 championships under his belt, but 2022, by his standards, not going nearly as well as he would like. He's in fifth position. But if you looked at it, the 17 of Dylan Anderson, he's had a malfunction. The 52 of Chris Rinker, he's done for the day. And the 8 of Jeremiah Mayo still hasn't been able to really get that boat back into top form since he had that wreck at the APBA National Championships. So it looks like I got word that the 20 of Rinker from a technical standpoint is good, but the radio system, so he can communicate with his crew chief, is not operating properly. There we see our great drone footage, taking a look at the Crystal Clear Wiper Blades team working frantically to try to get that thing repaired and back out on the water. And we're still waiting to hear on the 17 of Dylan Anderson. So all sorts of chaos in one half of a lap. The 94 of Wyatt went dead in the water with what looks like an electrical issue, a short. The 52 of Chris Rinker leading the race by almost a third of a straightaway. Barrel rolls down in turn number 3. The 20 of Ashton Rinker pulls off, has to change radios. The 17 of Dylan Anderson has his safety airbag deploy. It is just an absolute chaos out there on the San Jacinto here for this main event, as we only got 6 laps in to this 13 minutes or 18 minutes plus 1 lap main event. We've hit the pause button, as you can see there. So let's take a look at that running order. Because the 52 of Rinker barrel rolled, right, that pulls him out. He's done. He's going to get a lap penalty for stopping the race. So that's going to shuffle him way back. As long as the 17 of Anderson get it, he's going to be your leader. And on the inside of row 1, on the outside hip of him is going to be the number 24 of Spencer Love. And because the 94 of Wyatt didn't stop the race, the 52 of Rinker did, and they weren't able to complete a whole lap after his boat went dead in the water on the backstretch, if the 94 of Rusty Wyatt can get that thing back running, he's going to be sitting 4th on the outside or the inside of row 2. A great run so far for the 70 of Jude Gaspard. He's sitting in 4th position on the outside of row 2. In row 3 on the inside is going to be the number 77 of Mike Quindazzi. On the outside, going to be the number 9 of Johnny Fleming. On the inside of row 4, the 8 of Jeremiah Mayo, and his teammate on the outside of that same row, the 15 of Tim Kraft. And then the 99 of Travis Yates and the 20 of Ashton Rinker in row 5. And then in row 6 is going to be the 03 of Dustin Terry and the 09 of Whitney Terry Fletcher. So brother and sister pulling up row 6 here in this final of the Formula One class. Boy, what a crazy turn of events so far here in this Formula One race. All sorts of chaos going on. Hopefully the 52 of Chris Rinker is okay. It looked like he took a pretty hard roll. Unfortunately, we had such a battle going for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We had shifted coverage just momentarily off of the 52 of Chris Rinker. And as soon as we did that, he snap rolled it down in turn 3. We're checking with our video team to see if we were able to get any coverage of that. And unfortunately, we were so locked in on some of the other battles because he had started to pull away in those first handful of laps. And sure enough, as soon as we did, he went on his head down at the south end of the course. And now we've got, looks like because the 03 of Dustin Terry destroyed a buoy down there, looks like we're going to have to replace one of our secondary buoys in one of the corners. Right on, and it looks like the Rinker Racing team is frantically trying to take a look at that 52 boat. You know, it has happened in the past where a driver has flipped their boat, barrel rolled their boat, and somehow actually been able to continue racing or continue in the event. We've seen it most notably Guido Capolini, the Italian stallion, in I believe it was early 2000s, mid 2000s maybe, out in Russia, hit a giant wave, flipped the boat 360 degrees, landed the boat, and kept driving. I've only seen that happen once, maybe twice. Never seen it here, but it is not unprecedented to have a driver wreck their boat, cause a stoppage in the race, and continue once they do the restart on the race. Now, he's definitely not going to be in the same position. And who knows how well that boat's going to run, but we just have to wait and see. You can still see the 20 of Ashton Rinker. Working on getting those radios reconnected inside that Outcast Formula One machine built by Paul Trollian, sponsored by Rinker Boat World and Pro Marine. And he's not the only one that's patchworking things back together. The 17 of Dylan Anders, you can see there, he's got that big diaper on the top of his boat. Well, that safety feature, that airbag, has a lid, and it's a magnetically, it's glued in there, but not hard. And so that when that magnetic function triggers on the safety system, it blows that lid and the bag inflates. Well, that lid is now either floating somewhere on the San Jacinto, because it is carbon fiber, so it's fairly light. I don't know if carbon fiber floats or not. I believe it does. But it's somewhere floating around the river. But he's got to cover that up, or that bag is going to flop around. And I wouldn't necessarily say a giant cylinder pillow on the top of your boat is the most aerodynamic thing. So whether they're wrecking or having safety malfunctions or radio malfunctions or a whole host of things are rearing their ugly head here in the main event of the Formula One class here at the 2022 Battle on the San Jacinto. We got a quick break here. We got to give a big shout out to all our unbelievable sponsors here locally, the great folks at Snap-on Tools. Most importantly, Devin Corbett, the #1 Snap-on tool rep here in the greater Houston metro. Snap-on Tools, reinventing the essentials. Yates Electrical, shockingly supreme service, whether it be residential or commercial, your only choice is Yates Electrical. Slack Company and Contracting. They build success, the #1 choice for earthwork and mass excavation in the great state of Texas. The Baytown Boat Club, the host of the 2022 Battle on the San Jacinto, and the #1 boat club east of the greater Houston metro. Alrighty, and joining me now is a man who probably doesn't want to talk to me, but I appreciate it greatly that you are, the 52 Chris, the real deal Rinker. Man, you Dylan Anderson yourself.
Yeah, we were strolling. We just it got a little rough down there. I was running in behind Ashton, and we were trying to get a little lane there, but little cousin love, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like. Now, did you guys get together, or did you just find a hole and just snap roll it, trying to turn it in through turn 3 there?
I absolutely found a big hole and snap rolled, and I knew it was over. Somehow came out without my helmet, had it all strapped on, had everything right, and I just peeled my lid and swam out.
Right on, yeah, got yourself a little cherry there on the cheek, but you seem, other than that, a little banged up, but no worse for the wear considering.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Right on. Frustrated for sure.
I'm heartbroken.
Yeah,
if anything's hurt, it's right here.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, you know
Thomas.
What? You're still in. You know, you came in 3rd in points. You know, you collected a ton of solid points in qualifying that are going to go towards. You're going to get a few points because you started the final. It's not what you want, but I still think it gives you an outside shot heading to Lake Havasu City to still try to put Chris, the real deal Rinker, on the top of the podium. But I know this one's got to hurt, man. I'm glad that you're physically okay. I know that one's got a sting. You know, every boat racer learns at some point, if you find a peak, if you find a peak, there's always a valley on that other side, and you're always trying to stay on the peak side of the wave, and unfortunately, you ended up on the valley, sir. Well, hey, I'll let you get back to hang out with your family and friends. Take care of yourself. Good luck repairing the boat, and go cheer on your teammate, Ashton. Hopefully the Rinker team can maybe smooth themselves up some points and try to salvage the weekend here for the Rinker Boat World team.
Appreciate it, Thomas.
Thank you, sir. That was the 52 Chris Rinker, normally a man of many words, but as you can imagine, after an event like that, not too many words want to be said by our leader who barrel rolled down in turn number 3. All right, we've got our lineup ready to go side by side for this rolling restart here in the main event in the Formula One class. As we take a look again on the inside of row 1, the number 17 of Dylan Anderson, he now finds himself somehow on the pole. The 94 of Rusty Wyatt was finally able to get that boat back started, so he's going to have to be able to get back in the mix. But Jet Ski Jared pulls off. We've got them side by side as they're waiting. The 94 of Rusty Wyatt makes his way back in, but they're going to be holed for one more lap on the inside of row 1. The 17 of Dylan Anderson, you can see him there on the outside of row 1. We're going to have to make one more pass around as the 94 of Rusty Wyatt in the nick of time. Somehow the 94 of Rusty Wyatt in the nick of time was able to get that boat fixed, and he's hauling butt to get back lined up with everybody so they can run this restart here. But again, wow, what a crazy race it's been. We're only 6 laps in. We still got 13 minutes plus 1 lap to go. As we take a look at row 1, on the inside of row 1, that's the number 17 of Dylan Anderson. On the outside of row 1, that's the 24, your points leader so far in 2022, the number 24 of Spencer Love. On the inside of row 2 is supposed to be the 94 of Rusty Wyatt, but he's at the back of the pack, and here we go. As he drops a flag, we're going to have a battle side by side. On the inside, it's the 17 of Anderson. On the 24 of Spencer Love, it's Hoffman v. Hoffman. Anderson Marine versus Clover Construction as they go deck to deck down the backstretch. The 24 of Spencer Love wide to the outside. On his outside hip, the 17 of Dylan Anderson pushing hard on the inside. This is only the second time in his Formula One career he's had the lead in the final. The last time, if you remember, was at Lake of the Ozarks in 2021, and he did just exactly what Chris the Real Deal Rinker did here just a few moments ago. He barrel rolled it, put it on his head, and his day was finished. Can he rectify that issue from Lake of the Ozarks? And he's going to have his hands full with the man from Santa Rosa Valley, California. He's your points leader right now. Dylan Anderson sitting in 4th. He needs to keep the 24 of Spencer Love behind him if he wants a shot at the series title. But first, he's got to get through 12 minutes plus 1 lap left in this Formula One main event. As the 17 of Dylan Anderson goes tight to the inside down the front straightaway. There's the 24 of Spencer Love showing up on his outside tip. They get almost side by side as they go all the way down to the north end of the course. Down into turn number 1. Anderson is not giving up anything. Here comes this. As our leaders continue to push, there's the 77 of Quindazi. He's fighting with the 70 of Jude Gaspard. Could Jude Gaspard get on the podium? What an amazing event that would be if the man from Conroe, Texas, could bring home some hardware in memory of his great friend Tracy Hawkins. As he's continuing to hold off the 77 of Quindazi. There's Quindazi, you can see in the front there's the 70 of Gaspard as they're pushing hard to try to hold on to that podium spot. As our leader, the 17 of Dylan Anderson, makes his way down to the south end of the course. Now he's starting to catch up to some of those slower back markers. The 09 of Whitney Terry Fletcher trying to stay on the lead lap, but the 17 of Dylan Anderson is going to try to use her as a pick move between him and the 24 of Spencer Love, and he's starting to walk away from it. He's really starting to out-drag the 24 of Spencer Love down the north end of the course. And then where's the 94 of Rusty Wyatt? Where is he sitting? The 94 of Rusty Wyatt. As the 94 of Wyatt, who miraculously went dead in the water and then somehow was able to get it started before. There's our leader, the 17 of Anderson. There's the 98. He's the last one to lead up. There's the 94 of Wyatt. He's sitting back in 8th position, but he's starting to pick him off. He started last. He's moved himself all the way up to 8th. Now he's trying to get by the number 8 of Jeremiah, Get Out of My Way Mayo, and the 15 of Tim Kraft. He's continuing to push hard. As we take a look at our leader, the 17 of Dylan Anderson, with that big giant white duct tape strip on the top of his boat after his safety bag deployed during that wreck by the 52 of Rinker. He goes down into turn number 1. There's the second place boat. He's quite a ways back now. That's the 24 of Spencer Love. I think he might be trying to just settle into a second place. He knows he comes in as the points leader. He said when we talked to him earlier this week, if you remember from our interview yesterday, he's just trying to stay clean and collect points. Stay clean and collect points. And if he can hold on to that second place, he's going to go a long way to teeing himself up for a really good finish down in Lake Havasu City for the final round of 2022. But it is all Dylan Anderson right now. He's starting to catch up to the 99 of Travis Yates. There's the 24 of Spencer Love, the man sitting in 3rd position as he goes on to the north end of the course, down through turns 1 and 2, and head down south back down the river trying to catch the 17 of Anderson. Anderson gets by, oh no, the 9 of Johnny Fleming. As they continue to battle, there's the 24 Love. What an unfortunate turn of events. There's the number 9 of Johnny Fleming. He is pulling off the course, and all for naught after an unbelievable race yesterday and a heat win for his first one all season. He's now going to have to pull it into the pits, and his day is done. The 17 of Dylan Anderson now starting to get into some of those back markers. This could be really, really good or make it really, really difficult for the young man out of Nashville, Tennessee, as he gets down to the inside, trying to eye up the 20 of Ashton Rinker. That outcast hull with Rinker Boat World on the side has not been running all that well this weekend, and he's just trying to hang on to the lead lap. He goes wide to the outside, lets the faster Dylan Anderson by, and the 24 of Spencer Love. And he continues to battle. So the 94 of Rusty Wyatt was starting to move up, but there we go. Whatever popped up before looks like it might have popped up again. And the day for the Canadian is all but done for the Crystal Clear Wiper Blades machine. What an unfortunate turn of events for that young man. He was so fast, gaining so much ground, and caught a gremlin, and his day is done. The 17 of Anderson there you see on the north end of the course coming out of turn number 2. He's going pin to pin, tight way around the course. He knows as long as he drives it clean and he keeps it on the inside line, there's no way that 24 of Spencer Love is going to catch him. We got 7.5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining in this main event here in the Formula One class. As our leader, the 17 of Dylan Anderson, comes out of the south end of the course, now looking to eye up the 03 of Dustin Terry, as he's really starting to creep up on some of those boats that are fairly high up in the standings, 6th, 7th, and 8th position, is he's starting to catch up on, and he just continues to pull away from the 24 of Spencer Love. Sitting, now we go back to that battle for third. Let's take a look at that battle for third position. There's the 77 of Quindazzi as he's trying to track down the number 70 of Jude Gaspard. Gaspard doing a great job of holding off the Buckshot Cleaver Buckshot Racing sponsored machine of Quindazzi. As you see him now, he goes wide to the outside. He's starting to close that gap. The 70 of Gaspard showing his true colors, pushing hard, not allowing the 77 to get inside. Now he goes tight to the inside, but the 77 of Quindazzi gets caught up in the wash of the 09. That's the Craftsman, JH of Wendy Terry Fletcher. That's not what he needed as they push their way down the north end of the course. Will the 70 of Jude Gaspard be able to hang on to the podium, or will he relinquish that spot to the number 77 of Mike Quindazzi? What a great battle we got going on there as they continue to push. Oh no, we got another boat pulling off. The attrition continues here as the 15 of Tim Kraft pulls off. That is the 4th boat to pull off the course here this afternoon. This is what happens in Formula One racing sometimes. As we take a look at, there's the number 70 of Jude Gaspard off the north end. There's the 17 of Dylan Anderson. He's working his way down the front stretch, trying to eye up the 03 of Dustin Terry in that APX 200 competition 4-stroke from Mercury. That boat is fast, but it struggles to turn a little bit. It doesn't get off the beach the greatest yet, but this is only the first year it's been around. That program is going to continue to improve, but right now, the man who needs no improvement is our leader, the number 17 of Dylan Anderson. He's down into turn 3, goes through the wash of the 03 of Terry, but he knows he's got a big enough lead that he just needs to hang on for another 5 minutes, 19 seconds plus 1 lap, and he will claim his first victory here in 2022. As he goes down the back straight, the 17 of Dylan Anderson continuing to push hard. He's way out in front, almost a full straightaway lead over the second place boat, the number 24 of Spencer Love. There's our leader, the 17 of Dylan Anderson. And there's a great battle we got going on as the 77 of Quindazzi's fighting with Mayo. Where did Jeremiah Mayo come from? We had this battle going on with the 70 of Quindazzi and the 77, or 70 of Gaspard and the 77 of Quindazzi. And all of a sudden, Jeremiah Mayo's like, oh, hey guys, can I come play? And he gets into the mix. Now we got a 3-boat battle for the final spot on the podium. But right now, it's the man from Conroe, Texas, running for Gaspard Brothers Racing, the number 70 of Jude Gaspard, looking to get his first podium ever in Formula One. He's got his boy, his friend, his compatriot Tracy Hawkins looking down, rooting him on here to try to bring some hardware back and keep it in East Texas. Will the 70 of Jude Gaspard be able to hold off the 77 of Mike Quindazzi and the 8 of Jeremiah Mayo? We've only got 3 minutes, 52 seconds plus 1 lap remaining. He's getting there, but he's got to keep hanging on for just a handful more laps. As you see, there's the 70 of Gaspard coming down the front stretch. He goes down into turn number 1. Then there's the 77 of Quindazzi. And the 8 of Mayo gets stuck behind the 03 of Terry. But boy, Gaspard is running one heck of a race. I don't know if I have ever seen this type of speed out of the 70 of Jude Gaspard. He's in year 4 in his Formula One program, and he just continues to improve. So I just got word from the Crystal Clear Wiper Blades team. It looks like it was a fuel pump that crapped out on the 94 Rusty Wyatt's machine, and that's what caused his day to end. But there's that battle continuing for the 70 of Jude Gaspard and the 77 of Mike Quindazzi. He's starting to pull away. Oh, and here comes the 03 of Dustin Terry. It looks like the 77 might be slowing down a bit. There's the 03 of Terry. Oh no, look out, Quindazzi spins out down in turn 3. And now Jude can breathe just a little bit. 77 of Quindazzi, again, been his own worst enemy all season long. Did it again there. Now he's mired all the way back into 5th position. There we go. The 17 of Dylan Anderson is putting on an absolute clinic down here. Oh no, the 77 of Quindazzi spins out again down in the north end of the course, and it looks like he might have some technical difficulty. As our leader, the 17 of Dylan Anderson, keeps pushing hard. There's Quindazzi, and obviously something has happened. He's spun out twice. He looks like he's got a hole. He's calling for race rescue. And he might be sinking out there. Something's going on. He's calling in the rescue team. Boy, that's so unfortunate for the man out of Florida running for Buckshot Racing. He was smart to get it inside. He's like, come on, guys, I'm sinking here. I'm sinking, and I'm sinking fast. The 17 of Dylan Anderson continues to push hard. And then Anderson Marine Machine, he has got that thing dialed in, dancing and screaming across the shores of the San Jacinto. Just 1:20 plus 1 lap. Will he be able to hang on? At this point, all he has to do is just finish. Put that thing in cruise control, nice wide turns, back off when you get to a back marker, Dylan. Do not be your own worst enemy right here. That's exactly what his radio man's telling him. Do not let this be Lake of the Ozarks. Do not let somebody behind you or a back marker dictate what you do and cause you to go over on your head. Boy, look at that 03 machine. It has got so much power on the straightaways. It just struggles a bit in the corners, and Dylan Anderson has so much command over the corners right now. He's just running away. He's got almost a half a lap lead over the 24 of Spencer Love as he continues to push here now inside the final minute of this main event here in the Formula One class. As the 17 Anderson goes into spray. Ooh, watch out there. He got close to the 03 of Terry. That was almost disaster as he goes down the front stretch. 31 seconds plus 1 lap. So just a couple of laps remaining here in this main event. Will the 17 of Dylan Anderson pull it off, or will he be relegated back to 4th or 5th if he cannot finish? He's continuing to push hard now. Here's what's crazy. The 17 of Dylan Anderson is about to pass the 3rd place boat. The 3rd place boat. That's fast. Especially considering we had 10 drivers within 9/10 of a second in their fast lap qualifiers. This man is putting on an absolute clinic here on the San Jacinto. And there's the white flag. Go fast, turn left. Go fast, turn left just 4 more times for the young man out of Nashville, Tennessee. And he'll be bringing some well-deserved hardware and some huge points that'll probably pull him up from 4th to either 2nd or 1st. Problem is, the man in 2nd is the guy who's the points leader coming into this round, the 24 of Spencer Love. But he put on a clinic. He battled through attrition. He battled through some safety malfunctions. Ladies and gentlemen, your inaugural champion here at the Battle on the San Jacinto, out of Nashville, Tennessee, number 17, Dylan Anderson. And in second place out of Santa Rosa Valley, California, and hanging on to that season point lead, the Clover Construction number 24 of Spencer Love. And rounding out the top three, and this is something that I am very proud to say unofficially, in third position out of Conroe, Texas, number 70, Mr. Jude Gaspard.